And what we're doing, I look at it as I'm screening client candidates. I'm screening them. I'm sorting through to find out if they're a good fit. Number one, identify, and I ask questions to find out if there's a possible fit. I want to know what their needs are, what their goals are, what their wants are, what their frustrations are. Identify. Number two, qualify. Qualify. That's by listening and paying attention to the body language. And what you're going to look for is, again, are they red, green, or rotten apple? And there's certain traits that we look for in people that show up. Are they coachable? Do they have a lot of concepts, a lot of preconceived notions of what's right and what's wrong? If they have a big ego and they got all these concepts of what it's supposed to do, and don't bother fighting them. They're not a fit. They're a green apple. Maybe a red apple, maybe a rotten apple. But some people hold on to their concepts to the death. How many of you know somebody who's a diabetic educator, or they're a health professional, and they're 50 to 100 pounds overweight, and they are stuck in believing what they're believing, and it's not working for them? You can't help somebody if they're not ready. Just allow that person to be where they are and come back and visit them over time. We call it dripping. Now, once you identify that they're a good fit and that they're qualified and they're ready to move forward, they're in that red apple stage or even in a slightly green moving towards red, then you need your third step is approach. The approach is really the elevator speech, your testimonial, and an invitation. You're inviting them to take a look at a program that's changed your life in the case that it might help them or someone they know. That's the invitation in a nutshell. Your elevator speech, your testimonial, and an invitation for them to look at a program that might help them or someone they know. Next, then you schedule. What the outcome of this part here, the action, is to exchange contact information so that you can schedule a next step. The next step may be to meet them on a conference call. The next step may be to meet them at Starbucks for a coffee. The next step may be to have them come into a meeting like this. The next step may be to send them an email with the video so they can learn more about the program. But you want to move the relationship forward at a pace that's comfortable for who?
Them.
For them. So the next step is really that agreement to take to the next step, and that's the whole goal for the approach, is to offer it to them, invite them to take a look, and then try to exchange contact information and move the relationship forward. Then, now finally, after all these steps, we're finally at the stage of presentation. This is when we talk about the 5-in-1, how it works, how the Habits of Health system works, how the Bio Network works, how the program can work. This is when you actually give them a complete presentation so they can make an informed decision. How many of you agree that enthusiastic health coaches can often do the fire hose, standing in line to Starbucks or standing in line to get on a plane, and they want to give a presentation right then and there? And that is not always the best time. Often, it's actually usually not the best time. I would say 90% of the time, the best thing to do is to schedule something for the future where you can have their undivided attention. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the biggest issue I've seen, is both health coaches, they skip right through these two steps here, and they go to present. And then they are asking somebody to make a decision when they weren't even in the right frame of mind to even start thinking about it. Once you've presented to them and you offer them, they understand what our offer is, they understand what the Habits of Health is, and you say, does this sound like it's something you'd like to look into? Then the final step is you profile them and you go through the client tracker, which is what Karen and Jill are going to do, and you go through and you get them started.